What's going on, makers? Hope everyone's having an excellent Wednesday thus far and enjoying the beautiful fall weather that we're experiencing right now. Welcome back to another installment of Virtual Makers. Today is sort of a make and play type craft where we are going to be making something that you can go on to play with. And I'm calling it magnet collages or, dress up collage puppets. So you can see I have a couple names for it that aren't necessarily super catchy, but I bet you can come up with a cooler one for your own that you create. So this is going to be a pretty fun thing that you can keep around and play with your, friends or siblings or cousins or whatever. And it's magnetic, which is pretty fun. So you'll understand more as we get into it. I don't have a finished product yet this time to show you because we're going to do it as we go here. So materials that we need for this, we need some magnet squares. That's what these are. So they should be in your material kit or your maker kit. Or you can also find them in various places, craft stores, that sort of thing. And they're very fun to have around. I think magnets are just cool, so got some of those. Some scissors, of course. Some heavier cardstock paper, a glue stick, some old magazines to go through, and some drawing utensils. So basically, what we're going to be doing here, friends, is creating a sort of doll, you could call it if you want, but we're going to be collaging. So collaging is when a collage is a piece of art that is a collection of images that were sort of pulled from different sources. So it could be stuff we draw, it could be stuff we saw in a magazine, it could be old pictures that we have lying around, and we cut out certain parts of those images from different sources and then put them together, create a whole new image. And so what we're going to be doing is going through some magazines here as such. And I'm sure your family has some around, newspapers work, whatever you have. And we're going to be picking out images that we like. Specifically, we're going to be looking for heads and clothing. And then we are going to cut out those images, glue them onto cardstock, or we could also draw our own on the cardstock, which I'll show you very quick. Obviously, you can figure it out. And then we're going to be creating magnets out of them that we can use to mix and match and make funny images that can go on our fridges or our lockers when that's a thing again. Yeah, and it's just a fun, cool way, like a cool thing to have around that you can play with that looks super funny and awesome. So to get started, first things first, we have to go through our magazine or our newspaper, our source. That would have been a really good one. To find images that we like and that we want to use for this project. So I already did that. Woo, secret image stash. So you can cut out, just some people faces will work. I think that'll be very fun. But I also encourage everybody to pick out some animal faces if you're into it, like this cool snake that was drawn in this magazine, or maybe this like scary looking buffalo, pretty awesome, or perhaps this lion, and then some clothing items for them because, gotta be fashionable, right? So perhaps it's this cool jacket from the 90s with a puppy, or this flannel shirt, which is also cool, or perhaps these small shorts, or maybe this cool skirt. And I encourage you all to, if you want to be mindful of your sizes so you can make images that are, more accurately proportioned, totally awesome. Definitely support it. But also, I think part of the fun of this craft is finding things of different sizes so that the images you end up putting together look kind of silly and pretty funny. So once we have our images out that we want to use, we are going to go ahead and grab our cardstock, and we are going to glue our images onto the cardstock and then cut them out. So I'm just going to do, just for the sake of, we don't have to go through all of these, but I'll just cut out, let's do the snake, maybe the shirt, maybe the skirt. Sounds cool. We'll go ahead, glue these on, cut them out. Pretty standard. So we got that. Very cool. give ourselves a little bit of space here because we don't want to cut into our images that we need. Do that. So I'm using some old National Geographic magazines from the 90s, which are pretty cool, but literally any collection of images will work well for this. So once we have these glued on as such to our sort of thicker cardstock paper here, we can go ahead and cut them out. And again, friends, this is something I have a pretty nice collection here picked out, if I do say so myself. But this is something that you can take tons of time to do to get the exact sort of clothing and image options that you want. Kind of like building your own action figure or doll sort of collection. But also just kind of like a fun magnet game, like not dissimilar from the magnetic poetry that we had discussed a few weeks back here now. And you know me, I'm always into like playing and having games going. I think it's just a fun way to think about things. Cool. So, you'll have your cutout look something like this. We'll keep going here, cut out these other two. Get the skirt going. All right. Sweet. Cool, cool. Last but not least, cut out our snake friend. Looking very cool, slightly intimidating. It's pretty standard snake vibe, if I do say so myself. All right. Cool. All right. And like I said, if you want, you can draw an image that you can use in here too. So I'm going to just draw some like cool funky shoes really quickly that we can then cut out and have our snake wear. They're actually going to be almost kind of like boots in a way. You all might remember that I am not the strongest visual artist in Millville, but we're just having fun. We're making some images, we're cutting stuff out. All right. Boop, boop. Maybe next time I can put some music in the background of these videos. I will not have the capacity today, but for whenever we have all this downtime of me just cutting, might be fun. I could try to do it live sometime, like comment feedback. All right, cool. So once we have our stuff cut out, the next step is going to be cutting our magnet squares to fit the backs of our pieces, of our sort of collage pieces here. So we have these awesome little magnet squares here, and they're sticky on the back, which is cool. So whenever we do this, we're just going to be able, once we have it fit, so for some of these bigger pieces, we can just put these right on here, right? So for the snake, for example, we'll just put Mr. Snake. We'll put the sticky side, obviously, right onto the cardstock here, and then boom. Check it out. The magnet, ready to go. But for some of these, so, we can do the same here for the shirt, right? Good size for that. Same thing for the skirt, right? Sticky side, boom. And then for these tiny little boots we made, we're gonna have to actually cut into our magnets a little bit, but it's not that hard. actually, are much easier to work with than you would expect. They cut pretty easily. So we'll just do that. Couple quick cuts. There's one. Nice tiny little magnet now. Get that on there. Cool. Get the other one. Same thing. Try to fit that on there. Sweet. And then, of course, you would proceed to do this with the rest of the items and faces and things you picked out. And from there, I don't have anything metal here to show you, to prove to you that these magnets work. But what you'll then be able to do once you're magnetic is go to your fridge or your locker or your favorite metal magnetic structure and create some funny images like I'm about to do right here. I'll move it up a little bit. Ah. Ta-da! Cool casual snake guy. Here, let's get a closer look. Sweet. And then obviously once you get your other pieces in here, you'll be able to like mix and match and have like kind of like a fun game that you can play with it, right? Where we're swapping in clothing, we're swapping in styles. Everyone's looking cool. That's it for today, friends. Simple fun, make and play. I think you'll all really enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Take care.